We need a psychologist.
Yeah, for real. This is not where I thought this was going to go. Hello and welcome back. Happy Sunday.
Sunday?
Yeah, it's Sunday when we post this.
Oh, we're filming it on a Saturday. We're going to talk about body image.
So we think it's a really important topic that often gets missed, especially in social media, because everything comes across so perfect quite a lot of the time. So we thought it's a really important thing to talk about, and it's an interesting conversation to kind of open up.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We know a lot of people, including us, who do struggle with body image, self-esteem, confidence, the way they look. And I think in the gay culture, it's quite a heavy topic, I think, isn't it?
Yeah, it's massive.
Especially when it comes to gay relationships. I think I've never heard anyone speak about this.
Yeah.
We're taking it back.
Way back. So my first experience with body image was probably in secondary school when I gained a little bit of puppy fat and then I started comparing myself to others, and that was probably my first negative experience with body image.
That's such a hard age as well, isn't it?
I know.
To like, when your body's changing and you're already like, what is going on?
It's like you're in like the PE room and you're like, oh my god, like, why
You don't want to
do
take
I
the
do
top
this?
off.
And
Yeah.
That's the worst experience ever.
My relationship with body image didn't really kind of develop until I'd say like 18 years old. When I moved to London, so I'm originally from Essex. When I moved from Essex to London, I was immersed into the gay culture. I was in GOY late all the time. I was in heaven every Thursday, and I was just surrounded by so many different types of gay men I'd never experienced before, which obviously involved a lot of really stereotypically handsome gay men. So the muscly ones, the ones with great hair, great teeth.
Action men.
All the action men, yeah. Up until that point, I was actually all right. I didn't really have any issues. I was just a really tall, skinny teenager. So it was fine up until that, I think.
That's quite late.
Yeah. Quite lucky, I think, because I know a lot of people do struggle, especially going through school. Kids can be harsh.
Yeah, they're the worst.
In the gay community, I feel like there was definitely a pressure to look a certain way.
Yeah, for sure.
From very young as well. It's not even like you get into your 20s or your 30s and you're like, oh, suddenly I need to look a certain way. It's literally like from the get-go. It's like you're given like a checkbox, and if you don't tick every one of those boxes, you're undesirable. You feel undesirable. In my opinion, I almost feel like if you don't look a certain way, it can make you feel a bit invisible to other gay men, because you feel like that's what they're looking for, that's what they want, especially when it comes to dating and stuff like that. I don't know where it comes from or why that's a thing.
I think in general, like the crux of it, a lot of gay men and the community in general was rejected from society. So I feel like having a good body now is another way, or just another box where it's like, yeah, I'm accepted because I've got a good body.
Yeah.
I think that's where it comes from.
It's like having that body makes you feel like, okay, now I'm accepted by society a bit more because I fit into what they think an attractive man is.
Yeah, I think it's a deeper level. It might not be for everyone, but I think that is like the root cause of it.
That's really interesting, actually. Let us know your opinion on where you think this started from, and where the whole body image, especially within gay men, where you think this pressure comes from, because I think that's fascinating.
Get me in therapy.
For me, I personally think labels don't necessarily help either. Like, you're kind of given a label from the get-go. So obviously I started my experience of the gay world as a twink, as most of us do. And I was just tall, slim, and there's just this natural pressure to kind of go through the stages. You're automatically given the label of twink, and then you kind of move, what's the next one? Twunk.
Yeah.
And then you're a hunk, and then you're expected to move on, and then you're a bear. Like, there's all these labels. I just think sometimes they can be a bit dangerous, especially if you don't want to be labelled that. Like, for me, I wanted to completely change my body. I wanted to build a bit of muscle. And so when people used to call me a twink, I used to be like, oh, but that's not what my goal is. Like, my goal isn't to fit into this stereotype that is naturally slimmer, because I want to get beefy, I want to get big. Like, it was really hard for me to be like, no, like, stop putting me in this box, or stop referring to me as a certain image. Because I think a lot of these labels, obviously, they do come down to image. So for me, I do think that also plays a big part in gay culture, and I think...
Which is surprising, actually, because you'd think as as a community, you wouldn't want to label. Like, I feel like we've had enough of that. Like,
Yeah, but again, I think it's that sense of belonging, isn't it? I feel like the more we can kind of narrow down our identity into a certain box, you then feel like, okay, that sense of belonging, I think that's where it comes from anyway. Also, the topic of social media. So, like, no one really talks about this.
No.
But in general, I think, how do you know what I'm going to talk about?
Social media. Let's go. There's a load of problems with social media.
You got a lot to say. I noticed so many people, even like my friends and stuff, like commenting on these people's posts that are like models, for example, or like big influencers. They've all got six packs, they've all got amazing bodies, and they're commenting flame emojis, love heart emojis. And I always sit there and I think, you're hyping up these strangers more than what you're hyping up your friends. Like, no wonder we're all sitting here like, oh, I need to look like this. Because if you're not getting support from your friends from your Instagram post, you feel like, oh, there's no hope. If they're going to support someone that looks this way, but my own friends aren't going to support me looking this way, of course you're going to want to
also
change
subconsciously.
that.
Like, imagine if you're a younger person and you don't even realise that will literally lodge in your brain and be like, okay, I need to look that certain way because that's what is like desirable.
Yeah.
It's what gets me like attention and just a relationship, I guess, if you're dating as well.
I also think that plays a role in relationships as well later down the line, like the whole social media thing. Like, if you see your partner like liking other people's photos and they've got these amazing bodies, and maybe you're feeling a bit insecure about your body image, like, I think it's a slippery slope in terms of self-confidence. Social media can be very troublesome. Obviously, we are content creators, so we love social media, but you've got to acknowledge the elephant in the room. Like, social media does have a big part to play in it.
I think it's just being aware. Like, social media is a beast in itself.
Yeah.
Like, and everyone's posting, everyone's like, we're all on there to get the same thing.
What's that? Attention.
Like,
Validation.
we're all validation. Like, it's all for likes, for shares, for everything nowadays. Like, do you know what I mean?
Jake's on a rampage about social media. Basically, he's been talking about it for about 2 days.
Don't. Your self-worth ends up coming down to how you look.
Say it again. So, same-sex relationships, comparisons, jealousy versus attraction. We're going to talk a bit about how body image plays a role in same-sex relationships that, again, is never really touched on or spoken about or even acknowledged. I will also say it's only recently, since we did an interview with John Dean. If you haven't watched it, check it out. He asked us the question about comparison
between the two of us.
And it's the first time I've actually thought, yeah, being two men, you do naturally compare yourself, and like, there are going to be comparisons. And like, as content creators, we get compared all the time. Obviously, we post together on social media.
Yeah.
So we're constantly getting comments of like, oh, this one's better looking, or this one is punching. And like, it's quite hard, I think, to navigate being in a relationship of someone with the same sex and not compare yourself.
Do we compare ourselves? I think naturally we do, as like you said, like, we're two men in a relationship. We've got the same body biologically, but I think you have to remember, like, it's that I find Max attractive, but that doesn't mean that I need to look like Max, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? Is that the same thing?
Yeah, I think just because you find someone attractive doesn't mean you need to look like that person for other people to find you attractive. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, that is exactly what I'm saying. Now on the head. I wouldn't say it's like impacted our relationship like on a like deeper level.
No, I wouldn't. I think there is definitely a comparison. I think especially for me, Jake has an incredible body. He works really hard for it, don't get me wrong. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of comparison from my end. I'm not very confident in my body. So when I look at Jake's, we could go to the gym for the same amount of time, lift similar weights, for example, and he'll see a lot more changes. Genetically, he's just luckier, I guess. And it will definitely, it messes with your head a lot, for sure. And I think it's so natural to compare yourself in general. So when you're that close to someone, you're spending that much time with someone, you start noticing these changes and you naturally just think, why isn't my body changing as much? And it's really hard. I think you definitely have to navigate it. Obviously, it doesn't affect the relationship. Like, I don't get resentful towards him and be like, why is your body better than mine? Like, but it plays in my mind.
Is that why you always want us to get pizza?
It's sabotage.
He's sabotaging me.
If you're comparing yourself that much and it's making you feel bad, it's not because of that other person, obviously, it's because of how you think about yourself.
So in terms of jealousy versus attraction in a relationship, do we ever feel jealous of each other?
It's a really hard one. Again, like you touched on it earlier, like when it becomes jealousy, to me, again, that's from like an insecure place.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we're jealous of each other.
No, I would actually. I'm going to take it back. Like I'm really jealous of your hair. I wish I had your hair. I'm jealous of like your chest. You've naturally got like a well-defined chest. Like I would say, I would say I'm jealous of that. Again, those are also the things that I'm attracted to about Jake. Like I love his hair and I love his chest. So I'm almost like, am I jealous? And am I saying that I want that because that's what I'm attracted to?
But are you jealous of it, or is it just desirable? It's like you've got really nice traps. So am I jealous of it, or do I just find that really attractive?
Yeah, I think the jealousy part of it for me is like if you're jealous of something that your partner has, that's because you want it, as opposed to if you're attracted to something that your partner has, it's just attraction. There's no jealousy involved there. It's actually quite a lot to think about, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel like we need a psychologist.
Yeah, for real. This is not where I thought this was going to go. I don't know if this happens in heterosexual relationships as well, or queer relationships, but with gay same-sex relationships, I genuinely believe that there's so much comparison in terms of, am I the less attractive one, or am I punching above my weight? Like, I think has it ever played on your mind? Have you ever asked yourself that?
Yeah, well, not really, because you're hard punching, but I'm joking. It
Have
has
you-
all the time, especially since we started doing social media,
Yeah.
and you have the comments, and people naturally just pit us against each other. Well, yeah, I guess I have, but I don't think it affects us at all.
I think it's only natural to sit there in like a same-sex relationship and think, is this person noticeably more attractive than me? Like, am I walking down the street and are people thinking, how have you got him? Do you
Yeah,
know
but
what
I
mean?
think the thing is, like, so what?
What do you mean?
Like, who cares? Like, even if I was punching or you was punching or whoever it is,
Yeah.
like that shouldn't matter.
Yeah, it's so true.
That person's with them because they love them, vice versa.
Yeah.
Like that should
Outside
not even
opinions.
be a thing. Like, why do you care if someone's punching or not? Is it because you're jealous? Like, it's something that you should be looking at because you shouldn't even be bringing it up as a topic.
I think also when you're in a gay relationship, you naturally get more attention from other gay men. I don't know what it is, but I've asked this question to a lot of my straight friends. A lot of them don't get, maybe they do and they just didn't want to tell me, a lot of them don't get attention from women online half as much as what gay men get attention from other gay men, even if they're in relationships. I think probably because statistically gay men are in a lot more open relationships, so maybe they feel a lot more obtainable, so people feel a bit more comfortable trying to message other men or whatever. But I think for us, especially, we do get a lot of messages, we do get a lot of comments online. Obviously we're posting a lot of our lives online, so the comments are just open for people to just comment. You get a lot of comments obviously about your body online, I look at the comments and I see them, and then vice versa.
Yeah.
Do you think that plays a part in that body image, like other people giving you attention or giving your partner attention in a same-sex relationship? Do you think that plays a part in body image as well and how you think about yourself?
Yeah, I think potentially maybe a different version of me, but the version I am now, I'm quite confident in myself, and like with you as well. Like if someone's commenting on how good you look, like I know that. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah,
I'm
I know
fully
what you
aware
mean.
of it, and I'm quite comfortable with how I look as well.
So do you feel like
it doesn't affect me in a bad way now? Maybe, I don't know, 8-9 years ago, maybe it would have, but now it really doesn't.
we get it a lot also in person, so we'll see people and they'll be like, oh my god, Jake, you're looking incredible, like well done in the gym, and I'm like, I'm going too, like I'm trying hard. And I think sometimes that definitely plays on my mind, and it definitely makes me feel worse about how I look and my body image in general. That's a struggle for me, I won't lie to you. It's very easy for you to feel that confident and have that self-confidence because like you are the one that's getting complimented on your body. So like your relationship with your body image is going to be so strong because
Never used to be like that though.
you've got a stereotypically good body.
Yeah.
You've got a desirable body. So people will naturally are going to be like, oh, your body's incredible. I don't really get that comment. It doesn't affect me that I don't get it. It's more so the fact that when Jake does get it, it's a reminder that I don't have the body that Jake has. Yeah, for me, that's really hard to deal with sometimes, in all honesty.
Just makes me upset. I think as gay men as well, I think because you do have the same body and you're in front of each other all the time, you are naturally going to be comparing yourselves to each other. Whereas heterosexual relationships, obviously you've got two completely different body types, so you're not comparing against each other. So I think this is something that needs to be spoken about more, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's a really hard topic and no one really talks about it because I don't know, people just don't really think about it. They don't realise how much it's playing on their mind to constantly compare yourself to someone that you're seeing every single day, especially if you're living together. It doesn't even need to be body, it can be anything. Hair, like your facial features, it could be anything. When it comes to dating in gay culture, I think there's such a pressure to look a certain way because you see so many people with a certain look getting attention. You just think, I'm not going to be able to find someone if I don't look a certain way, which 100%. I think is such a dangerous way of thinking.
When I first started dating, I didn't have the desirable body.
We're all, just to clarify, we're all for looking after your health, but I think self-confidence comes from feeling healthy, feeling happy, just knowing yourself, rather than like your body. Obviously you should feel confident in your body, but that shouldn't come from obtaining a certain look, which sometimes is unobtainable. So in terms of self-confidence, it's something that's a work in progress for us, the same as it's probably a work in progress for so many people, but we thought we would just discuss some things that we think could be a good way to navigate body image, self-confidence, especially in relationships.
I've got two.
Go on.
So my first one is social media cleanse.
Jake feels passionately about it.
And I've been unfollowing a load of pages, and this isn't personal to the pages, because they're not serving the purpose. Like sometimes I'll look at their page and I'll be like, oh my God, they've got an amazing body, why don't I have that? Like, why am I now comparing myself to someone else?
Yeah.
Like, it's really not needed. Props to them, they look great as well, but like, I just don't want to be reminded of that every day when I'm scrolling through my feed. Like, if there's anything that's making me feel a certain way, just get rid of it. You don't need to put yourself through that torture.
I also think the images you're consuming online, i.e. X-rated images, can also be quite damaging. I think limiting what you're viewing online can be quite a good idea, just because you don't understand how much it's like damaging you by constantly looking at a certain body type that your brain is linking with desire and attraction, and also like it's just not good in general to be watching it that much.
Yeah. So number 3 is, if you're going to the gym, make sure you're doing it for the right reasons.
Yeah, that's really important.
And I say this because it's quite easy to fall into the trap of, I need to go to the gym to make myself look a certain way. Chase being healthy rather than chasing a certain body type.
I also just think just focusing on what you like about yourself rather than all the bits you don't like. Some things are just impossible to change. They're not going to change. You can't go through life dwelling on that because you'll be miserable for your whole life. And also just appreciate that people aren't thinking about you. Like, everyone's got their own insecurities, so everyone's thinking about their own insecurities. People aren't looking at you, pinpointing what you're insecure about, and then judging it. No one's really thinking that. And then another branch of that, I guess, is like accept people's compliments. I really struggle to think that people are being genuine when they compliment me. I don't know where that comes from. Maybe I need to speak to someone about that. But accepting people's compliments. Just accept. If someone's being nice to you, they mean it.
So I wanted to talk about this because we've noticed recently that we talk about it a lot more, and we don't actually think it's spoken about enough within the community. And I think so many people feel the same way as us, and we probably haven't covered as much as we would even want to, have we?
Yeah, there's so much more we could have gone into, but we don't want to make this video an hour long. We just wanted to open up the conversation. So drop a comment below if you have overcome any body image issues, and maybe some positive ways of doing that, just to advise other people. I think it's really nice to see people interact in the comments, see some positive stuff, and at least take something from other people that have been through something similar.
If you are struggling with any body issues, we will leave some links below which we think will be useful to you. Yeah,
there's some really good charities out there and a lot of people that can support you through any issues, so definitely reach out if you feel like you need it, or if you want to continue the conversation, there's professionals out there that can advise you a lot better than what we can.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. But thank you for watching, and the next video will be a bit more of a positive chat, I think it'll be on a different topic. Thanks for watching. I'm not doing that, that's so embarrassing.